Hey guys, welcome to a possible three-part series that I'm hoping to do, talking about some major things that have been going on, also my thoughts on them, and thoughts on a lot of other things that are going on in the world of professional wrestling or sports entertainment. Excuse me. Um, First thing that I wanted to talk about in this video was the whole CM Punk, Mr. McMahon podcast that happened. Now, I've heard both sides. I listened to the CM Punk side and I've listened to the Mr. McMahon side. So I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can, but I'm going to hit some pretty crucial notes. The CM Punk podcast is basically what a lot of people have been looking forward to. They wanted to hear from CM Punk since he left in January, and they wanted to know if he's ever coming back and everything that went down. And CM Punk did have a lot of things to say, and he did it in CM Punk fashion. He wasn't, beating around the bush. He wasn't, tiptoeing around anything. He just went right through it. Cole Cabana asked him anything, and he wasn't shy to talk about it. Then I heard the Mr. McMahon side, and really all he had to say was, well, he probably said some things that he's gonna regret. He's probably, just over exaggerating. And I look at that, I'm just dumbfounded, really, because when you know that you're innocent, you don't beat around the bush and be like, oh, well, he said this happened, and that's not exactly true. I mean, if you're innocent, you're innocent. I mean, it's the whole Bill Cosby deal. He could have just said, no, this is not true. He could have just said no and brought up maybe a little bit of facts. Probably would have helped the situation and be done with it. But no, he just said, I'm not going to comment on that. See, if you're innocent, you bring in facts to prove that you're innocent. You don't just bend over and just take it. I mean, I'm one of those people that believes that if you have proof that you're innocent, you're going to fight and you're going to prove it. No matter. And Vince McMahon did not really do that. CM Punk was not shy about anything. He talked about what was going on backstage, what was going on with his health, what was going on in his personal life. And obviously right now he was saying that he's a lot happier, which I'm happy for him. CM Punk, best of luck to you. And I hope whatever you plan on doing, then, just as long as you enjoy it, that's what matters. And he did enjoy professional wrestling. It was just a lot of it, I believe, was the backstage politics, and it was also, again, getting burnt out and just not enjoying it as much. And Mr. McMahon always saying, I'm doing what's best for business. I'm doing what's best. Well, here's the issue, Vince, is that if your doctors are just not going to tell your superstars what is going on with them, you got a bit of a problem. I mean, CM Punk was saying, he had this bump on his back for so long, and he was going to the doctor, and the doctor's saying like, oh, it's nothing really major, nothing really major. Then he went to another doctor, and he said, this is a staph infection. You really don't have anything. Let me put it like this. When it comes to somebody's health, I take it seriously. I'm not one of those people that's going to be like, oh, yeah, you say you have chickenpox, or you say you have this, yeah, whatever. No, if they say that, I'm one of those guys that will say, okay, well, what can we do to help you out? Do I need to take you into the hospital? Do I need to, do some kind of medical research? Because it's human nature that you care about that person. And even as a business, if you do not care about your superstar's health, then obviously they're going to be really disgruntled. They're not going to want to come back. As much as I would like to see CM Punk come back, I don't see that happening. especially if Vince McMahon passes and it's down to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, because they hate him. I mean, after hearing the podcast, I heard Triple H went on a huge rampage. He was cussing, swearing. He was just not happy. Well, how about this? How about we let Triple H, deal with his, temper tantrum, and then after that, maybe he can actually let it soak in a bit. Let him think, okay, maybe I have been doing this. Maybe I have been doing that. Maybe I need to reevaluate my methods as far as to going things. But I truly believe that, CM Punk earned his right to be in the WrestleMania main event. And he was pushing a lot of guys over. He was helping guys like Roman Reigns get over. He was helping guys like Bray Wyatt get over. He's helping guys like Ryback get over. And he used the phrase that Vince said that he would owe him one. And he said that it was about 3 times. And trust me, 3 times is more than enough to probably get WrestleMania main event, especially in that industry. Because CM Punk, he held the title for 434 days. Why not give him that chance to showcase his, to showcase his talents, to showcase his, who he is? Because he had everything. He had, as Vince would call it. And he's one of those superstars that's really going to be, hard to replace. There's not going to be anybody who's going to, make the alleged pipe bomb or do shoot interviews or do anything like that, because CM Punk was not only a character, but he was also real and relatable. And people actually got over with that because they liked his personality, they liked his work ethics, they liked his wrestling. He's one of those guys who knows what the people wants. I mean, he even said in his contract negotiation a couple years ago, when he said, listen to them. They want this, they want this, they want ice cream bars. And they probably still do. So the best thing for you, Vince, is to actually listen, pay attention to what the superstars have to say. Because if you're just going to go off on your own ego, then your company is not going to survive. You're probably going to be the next, WCW. I know that's a pretty strong claim to make on my part, but it's true. I mean, you're going to only do like one major thing every few months. Okay, well, why not try to do something like, every other month? Maybe bring back, a superstar. Maybe have a certain match. A lot of his, a lot of their gimmick pay-per-views are obviously not selling because they're unoriginal. They're just, they're just saying, okay, we have this match. Let's just call the event this. We're having a TLC. We'll just call it Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. We're having Extreme Rules matches. Let's make it Extreme Rules. We're having, a match where it's always about, about the champions, Night of Champions. And that's not even working because they're not going to put all the championships online. They don't even have that many left. I mean, they had so many titles, and now they're just reduced down to a handful. So it's hard to even have every championship on the line when you only have 5 championships on there. So definitely, I'm getting off subject. Bottom line that I'm trying to reach is that CM Punk definitely gave what the fans wanted, and he still believes that Vince needs to learn the error of his ways and know that there are guys who deserve the main event spotlight, who deserve to be on the main roster, and that they should get that chance. Don't be so content on milking out so much on John Cena, because he could break a part of his body tomorrow, and then what? You have nobody. So Vince, reevaluate, get other guys on the roster, get Sami Zayn, get Adrian Neville, get the Ascension, get all these guys on the main roster, and I guarantee you more people want to subscribe to the network. That's part 1. Get ready for part 2.